We have a large number of projects in Ukraine and a large number of projects in Bali.
It will be in demand.
There are 74 units here.
Good materials, good reinforcement.
It will not wash away.
The developer is responsible for this. One of the best infrastructures at the moment.
Many tourists, a lot of money is spent.
A completely different level.
From 14 to 16%.
One of the best investment offers currently on the market. This is generally lacking in Bali. We are currently at the wonderful Nexa Sky Garden complex with a representative of the developer company Nexa. And now we will indeed ask him why this complex will be in demand and have excellent returns for your investments. Sava, please tell us more to begin with about the company Nexa and what the company represents, preferably in numbers.
Friends, pleasure meeting you. Nexa is an international construction company. We have projects in Ukraine and projects in Bali. In the context of Bali, this includes 12 complexes, 3 of which are commercial real estate in the form of co-working spaces that we purchase and build at our own expense. We have been in Bali for 3 years and have built over 16,000 square meters. In total capital, it will probably be more than $35 million for sure. 380 employees, 155 properties in the portfolio.
Cool. And I understand that you also have real estate in other locations, which are also evaluated in some way. Do you have an understanding of the total asset volume you have under management?
If we take the total worldwide, I think it's more than 60 million.
We see that Nexa currently has more than $35 million under management. This is only here in Indonesia, in Bali. And accordingly, this is a company that has already proven itself. It knows how to carry out construction work in the market. Therefore, it can be trusted and business can be conducted with it. And now, I would move on to what you are building here at Nexus Sky Garden. Please tell me a little more about the concept of the real estate, its prices, profitability, and so on. Let's probably start with the concept.
Friends, the name of the project is Sky Garden, Heavenly Gardens. The goal is not to intrude on Bali's nature, but to integrate very wisely. This is a mini city with a huge amount of greenery, a vast number of facilities, a community, and infrastructure on the location. Everything needed for a person to arrive, spend money, $100, $150 per day. They get everything they need. Use the pool, work out in the gym, watch a movie, socialize with the community, and go to another location. There are 74 units here, 2 blocks. Behind me is the first block, the end of the reinforced concrete work. In the second block, the beginning of the reinforced concrete work is underway. By late 2025, early 2026, the entire complex will be delivered turnkey.
Super. Well, listen, I have already walked around there and looked. Yes, I see that you are using good materials, good reinforcement, but most likely people are interested in slightly different questions. Do you provide any guarantees or something similar?
First, until the end of construction, we provide a guarantee that everything will be okay with the building. It won't be washed away by a wave. An earthquake won't destroy it, nor will any possible disasters. After the end of construction, we also insure the property. The same applies to force majeure circumstances. For how long? For the entire operational period. Great. Second, we provide a guarantee for the reinforced concrete work, for the structure, for the roof, for the concrete, for the walls for 5 years. That is, if something happens, we will repair it at our own expense. Third, Swiss insurance.
For all finishing works, we usually provide a 1-year guarantee. As practice shows, it is during the first year that nuances arise in any construction. The building settles and some issues come up, and we repair all of this at our own expense. This is actually great, and I will tell you honestly, from my own experience, now being in Bali, I often check into new real estate, and there is always something that needs to be finished. Even if you rent it for a long term, there are still some nuances that come up. It is great that the developer takes responsibility for this, and accordingly, it will not affect the profitability of the investors themselves. Okay, please tell me how you guarantee quality, so to speak. With which people, possibly companies, contractors, do you work?
Let's start with the fact that we have completed projects. Agencies that come to it usually rate the quality of the finishing work at 8 or 9 out of 10, based on what can be built in Bali. We have our own workers. We do not use subcontractors. We train them. This is our 12th complex. And overall, there is an understanding of how to build so that A, the finishing is good, and B, it lasts a long time, meaning that the concrete work is well done.
Okay, I was with your founder at one of your completed real estate projects located in Batu Bolong in Canggu. Overall, what I particularly liked is the quality of the furniture you provide. Friends, I currently visit quite a few different real estate projects and I see what kind of furniture different developers use. Honestly, I can say that what the guys at Mixi do is on a completely different level. On the island of Bali. In general, we talked about construction, we talked about quality, and most likely people are interested in profitability. And we will discuss profitability at the very end. But now I would like to ask you why the location we are in now will be popular. Yes, this is Binaryx Street, which is very close, just a minute from here. And I know it is currently developing rapidly. Please tell us more about this location and why you believe it will develop. And consequently, real estate here will increase in value later. Friends, regarding the location, this is Binaryx Street, one of the most popular streets in Bali right now.
One of the most popular areas nearby is Canggu. You know, it's a very busy area with many tourists and a lot of money being spent. We are on the neighboring street. Historically, it has happened that expats from Canggu came to Binaryx, those who found the traffic too heavy and the local presence too much. They came and built European infrastructure. You can see that palm trees and trees are planted along the entire street. This means that the guys approached this street with urban planning in mind. There are many private good villas, many private good cafes, and very little local cheap infrastructure, which already gives a higher price per 100 square meters than in Canggu, and a higher average daily rent, meaning short-term rentals, than in Canggu. Overall, this area can be considered premium, like an extension, metaphorically speaking, to some metropolis, you could say, yes, to some. In any capital, there is always an area nearby that is significantly more expensive than buying in the center of that city. In our case, it is Binaryx.
You are forecasting profitability?
16-17%, and that's certainly great, but what is the basis for this profitability? At the moment, it is very important to clarify that we have our forecast and the forecasts of 3 external management companies: Riba, Farsight, and Windy Profit. These are the 3 largest external management companies that manage hundreds of real estate properties across the island. They made forecasts for our projects ranging from 12 to 16%, which they will show at the current price if the investor enters at these prices. Our financial model ranges from 14 to 16%, depending on the price at which you enter and at what stage you enter.
But can you please tell me, here in the area, I see there are still few constructions, but are there any additional apartments that are already available? What is the profitability of these apartments and how does Nexa Sky Garden compare to everything that has been built around?
Okay, the question is for the investor to understand so they can forecast. It needs to be analyzed. Figuratively, right next to us, literally 100 meters away, there are 2 apartment complexes in our segment. The first and second complexes are rented out starting from $100 per day. Neither the first nor the second has any infrastructure, gym, club, or co-working space, absolutely nothing. Just an Indonesian building, built in 2022 or 2021 with terrible finishing quality, rents for $1,800 monthly and $100 rent, while $115 is the price in the neighboring building.
What rental rate do you plan? We set ours from $90 to $115 depending on the day. That's great, really realistic, because the prices here are indeed like that. You can check the area on Booking or Airbnb, and most properties here are rented at that price. I also want to add that Peri is currently one of my favorite streets in Bali because it has some of the coolest restaurants and one of the best infrastructures at the moment. The street is actively developing, and for myself, for example, I choose to live either near Binaryx or on Binaryx Street itself. This is a great place for investment in my subjective opinion. I recommend everyone to do their own research and additionally study and make decisions based on that research. Okay, listen, let's talk about profitability. I know that the price of the apartments you are currently selling is quite low, and accordingly, due to this, an investor can expect good profitability. Please tell us more about the price of the apartments, at what stage the sales are currently happening, and what stage the construction is at. Because I understand that the stage of construction also affects the cost of the property, right? Yes, friends, it is very important that we are currently at the pre-sale stage. Despite the fact that behind me is a building with fully completed concrete work, we still have the lowest price.
There have been no prices lower than this in this complex.
When will the next increase be?
In 3 months, there will be a price increase. On average, we will raise prices by 10 to 15%.
Friends, therefore, now is the perfect time to invest in Nexa Sky Garden, because very soon the price will increase from the developer, and it will simply be impossible to find such wonderful offers on the market. Because there is infrastructure here, it is being planned more precisely. A very cool community is planned here, a community space that will allow people to come from different corners of the earth and feel good here. Because I feel that there is simply a lack of this in Bali. I want the complex to have a gym. I want there to be some kind of kitchen in the complex and other kinds of entertainment. And this is nowhere to be found, at least not provided in the area. Guys, this is going to be implemented. So I am confident that possibly a little later, the rental cost of each unit will be slightly higher, from $90 to $115 per day. I won't torture you any longer. I know you have a lot of work, so I want to thank you for our interview. Thank you for agreeing. Friends, invest in Nexo Sky Garden. We just spoke with a representative of the developer Nexo, and he told us how things are going with the construction and how things are overall in the area where the property is located. I believe this is one of the best investment offers on the market right now. So invest with us in Binaryx at Nexa Sky Garden.